Yeah, so a lot of things happen in this episode. This is titled Naruto Shippuden, episode 466, titled The Tumultuous Journey, I believe. Could be wrong, but I was close enough. So pretty much, the episode begins with Ashura just chilling. He's just lying on his back next to water. We see his friend Taizo. He's asking, he pretty much asks Ashura for a favor. He needs him to sort of, destroy some of the trees that's in the way so he can get to the field quicker. And Ashura's like, okay, sure, man. So a few moments later, probably, I would say probably a few days or probably a few weeks later, we see Taizo pretty much tied up. Clearly got his ass whooped, you know, and you got some of the students of Ninshu and Indra just sort of standing above him. Over him. So you have the Sage of Six Paths. He's kind of behind pretty much Indra, and you have Ashura just coming out saying, "Elder brother, what's happening, man? What's going on?" And pretty much Indra just tells him that Taizo broke a law, and you can't break laws like that. You have to pay for it because in order for that to happen, when shit like this happens, and you make the motherfucker pay for the crimes he did, no matter how small it was, minuscule it was, it pretty much prevents future crimes from happening in the future, or at least lessens the chances of it happening. You have Ashura pretty much saying, you know, all you had to do, dude, like, what happened? Just asking Taizo. And Taizo's just like, I needed to get my mother some medicine. And Ashura was like, well, dude, I could have just healed her, if you wanted me to. And he was like, say, my mother hates Ninshu. She thinks it destroys things. It's the main problem, etc. You know, and he was just saying he's sorry that he had to somewhat lie to Ashura for his assistance. And eventually the Sage of Six Paths pretty much agrees with Ashura. He's like, you know what? Maybe kind of forcing this, a little bit, you know, with when it comes to when it comes to Indra. And I was like, nah. He was like, his decision stands. So next scene, you have Ashura pretty much bailing Taizo out, saying that it was my fault, anyways, and I have to pay the punishment for it. And I'm sure Elder Brother will understand. So they get out the cave. Look who's there. Indra's right there. And Indra's like, well, Ashura, since he can't, you know, deal with the punishment, how about I take it out on you? And you have Ashura just sort of dodging Indra's little kick. Must Indra surprised, but it didn't last long. Indra gave him like pretty much a one kick, and he was done. You know, so he pretty much says to Ashura, if you don't know the purpose of Ninshu and the reason behind punishing those who break the law, then you should just obey me. Which remind me of very much like a Sasuke Naruto type thing. Just Sasuke being such a little condescending ass. But besides that, you have the sage, pretty much Hagoromo, in the shadows. He's watching, he's seeing this unfold. So the next scene happens the next day. You have Ashura pretty much praying towards the grave of his dead dog, Shiro, and him and Hagoromo have a brief conversation. Hagoromo says to him, what did he say to him? Oh, I think they were talking about, oh yeah, Indra. And he was saying, I think Asher was saying that Indra was like, he was once very kind and generous before, like, Shiro died. It was at that point, I believe Hagoromo says, that he understood why he was blessed with two sons. You know, one was meant to, one excels. I think another he points out to the frog, I believe, is that one excels as, in everything, skills, whatever. But he believes due to his strength will help him, he relies more on his strength than love. And the other one sucks at everything, but he's so full of love and kindness and all that shit. So pretty much Hagoromo, pretty much what he said from the beginning, you need both power and love in order to, for Ninshu to really be influential and help the world and all that stuff. So he pretty much sets up a little journey, a test, but he doesn't really necessarily admit to it being a test. So he wants to see how they react and how they solve issues in the real world. So he sends, they go on their little separate different places, the two regions of the world, which Hagoromo and his little following wasn't able to fix. Lands they weren't able to fix because, as you guys know, Hagoromo and his brother faced his mother, and they totally ravaged the land. So it took Hagoromo years to sort of make up for all that shit. But there was only two regions left. So we have Indra and Ashura pretty much going their separate ways. Ashura meets up with Taizo. Taizo says, "Let me come with you, man." He's like, "Sure," and they make their way. And you just see it was just horrible. They're going through snow, like barren deserts and all that shit. So they get to a certain location, whatever, right when they run out of water, and Ashura can feel the divine tree is near. He says his chakra feels it. And what's interesting about it is that they find this really barren piece of land. I mean, not barren. This fruitful, land or village, if you say, around this really barren area, and both Ashura and Taizo are like mad surprised. So the villagers come. There were weapons. Ashura tried to tell them, "We're good. We're just travelers. We're not suspicious people." One of them dudes tried to take a hack at him. He misses, and it cuts the girl. And Ashura is able to heal her. So that was able, and I believe after she got healed, the old man, the leader of the group, came. He feeds them, all that stuff. Ashura tries to get more detail about, his inkling on the divine tree being, near. But the guy pretty much stops him in his tracks. So the next day, Ashura tries to, get past the guards. That wasn't working. And the girl who he healed, I believe her name is Kana. So she wants him to help heal her mother. And pretty much, it wasn't working. He couldn't heal her. So he gets a little bit of a brief, run around about how everyone is sick. He's trying to figure out what's the reason. So he says he'll find his answer if he gets to what he believes to be the divine tree or whatever the hell it is. So she tries to get past the guards. The dude pulled a Naruto. He forgot the fucking jutsu he was supposed to perform. But thankfully, his friends Taizo and Kana were able to knock the dudes out, the guards. So they make it in through what seems like a cave, and they go deeper and deeper, and pretty much they are now in the divine tree. So, yeah. So, this is my review of Naruto Shippuden, episode 466. Thank you for watching. I'll have the next video for the next episode in a few minutes. Adios.